On this episode of Travels with Bill, we're at the Bow Falls in Banff, Alberta, Canada, checking out this waterfall. We're going to see a whole lot more of it throughout the entire episode. Well, we're back here at the beginning. There's a parking lot just behind us, and it's kind of tough on a busy day to find a parking spot. You may have to make a few trips around. You can also take shuttle buses into here, which works a little better, but you do eventually find a parking spot. I actually had to get dropped off, and then about an hour later they found room to park, and life was good. We're going to walk along the path here, take a look at the falls. We'll go up along them too. As you'll see a little later on, there's actually two different ways to see these falls from the side we're on, but you can also go on the other side of the river and check them out there as well. Bow Falls is a beautiful waterfall just outside the town of Banff. Bow Falls is one of the wide waterfalls that spans the Bow River. The drop is just 9 meters down, so it's not a huge waterfall, but it certainly is nice. It's rated one of the best things to do when you're in Banff. You can walk here from the downtown, or you can drive. Driving's a little quicker if there's a parking spot, but on a day there isn't a parking spot, you might be better off to take the walk from town if you could take a little bit of a hike. Going up the stairs here, it certainly feels rocky. We're getting higher and higher up, and we'll take a couple different views of the falls as we go, but even just this walkway is pretty impressive. The waterfall only adds to it. Part of the reason we're showing it to you today is because not everybody knows it's here. In fact, I've been to Banff before and didn't come to see the falls until I checked out the list of everything there is and realized, hey wait, I've never been there, I better go look at it too. We're fairly high up here. You can see the gorge on the one side, and well, really the gorge on the other side too. It's just one side happens to be full of water. If you're into geology, you can see that the falls actually used to go the other way. I'm sure at some point they ran there thousands of years ago. Right now they're out in front of us, but at one point they were back there. Beautiful mountains here too. If you've never been to the mountains in Alberta, certainly worth the trip just to see them. We've carried on up the path here a little more. Now the falls aren't all in one spot like Niagara Falls are. It's kind of this slow progression of fall after fall after fall until it finally reaches the bottom of the river. This isn't too far from downtown, so the water you see going through downtown Banff, that's what's ending up here. Sometimes it's really low, other times it's really high. Look at the color of it, isn't it amazing? That comes from it being glacial melt water. It also makes it very cold, and a little later on in the video you'll see a couple people that are brave enough to find out just how cold it is. We're filming on a really hot day, but that water is still frigid because it's melting from the snow and coming down the river. It doesn't really have a chance to warm up. If you're thinking to yourself, gee, these falls look like they could be movie-worthy, well, you're right. They've actually been in a movie. Probably the most notable movie they've been in is from 1954. It was a Marilyn Monroe film, River of No Return. It featured these very falls. There's some benches along the way here, and certainly the path is made pretty smooth, so you can make it up here pretty easy. You see a lot of people walking. If you go slow, it's not a particular challenge. Certainly if you're going fast, you're going up quite an incline here. But there's a spot to rest at the top, lots of people doing that. You may notice the number of tourists. Certainly it's a busy day, but this would not be the busiest day of the year. It would get to be even more so on other times, busier days in Banff. The year that they had free park entry for Canada's anniversary there, Banff was even crazier. In fact, many times the park had to be closed because it had just too many visitors. We're visiting, kind of smack dab in the middle of, that pandemic that was going on. So there's fewer people than there once was, but quite a few people are making their way back. So we've kind of crested the hill here. You can see how it goes back down the other side. But along the whole way here, it's just waterfall after waterfall. Here, though, you get to see the color really well. If you're into photography or videography, certainly coming here is worthwhile to get some shots like this. Did quite a bit of filming just to try and get a real feel for it. You'll notice there's no drone shot in this video. That's because drones are illegal here. We're in a national park, so you can't use them. This is a shot across the way. See, there's actually a road there. You can drive cars, some people walking through to see the falls, and then we'll zoom back out here so you can see our side of the river and a look at the falls. They're certainly way up there too, but that's what we're talking about. You can go on either side, and in fact, you can take a vehicle up there, obviously. We're on the side where you have to walk. You can drive to here, but you don't get the same view from a vehicle that they might be getting up on the top there. We're going to head on back down. Oh, lots of photos to be taken. Everywhere you go, people taking pictures of this, of course, the green, the blue, the water. It is very photogenic. we're visiting in the summertime. Certainly you can come in the winter as well. The fall's still here. Maybe not quite like they look in the summer, though. It's a much different view in the winter, but if you're into seeing it in the winter, certainly drop by and visit it. See, across the way there's almost a bit of a beach. We're going to head over there next so you can take a little better look at how that works. There's the wall here, but then when you walk past the wall, you actually do get right down into the water. The levels here would vary depending on what the river is doing. You can certainly see the water sometimes higher. It has this covered over. Today it doesn't, so there's some people here with their dog and lots of people enjoying the water. You can certainly bring boats and stuff here, your little paddle board there. You have to make sure you follow all the rules, so check out the National Park's website for Banff National Park to make sure you're doing the stuff you do. We certainly don't want any invasive aquatic species making their way in. I see the kids enjoying it, the dog quite enjoying it too, although the dog's probably wondering why that water's so incredibly cold. Another little river joins up here and becomes part of it, and what you're going to see here is actually the rafting tours. It's raft tours. They're on the other side of this water. You would drive over there. They have a parking lot just for people taking the boat tours. You have to be careful you don't park in there because they don't want you there unless you're actually taking one of those tours. There's a golf course further down the road, so if the parking lot's here full, you can go all the way down to the golf course, turn around and come back and try again. These people are nuts. They've obviously swam across that water to get to the other side, and now they're kind of on the rocks looking for just the way they're going to get back across. It is cold. I didn't get in because certainly it looked cold just from the feel of it, but I guess it's possible. Well, there he goes into the water. Now see if she's brave enough to. She got over there though, so she must have swam all the way over there. I didn't see how she got there, but this looks like it could take a while. It might take a little bit of editing here to... here we go. We had to stand there for a while till she got brave, and off she goes into the water and swim across. Certainly you're welcome to go swimming here. There's no reason why you wouldn't, but it is a really quick current. See how fast it is out in the main river? If you were swimming, I would certainly suggest staying here in this little tributary because certainly you don't want to get swept out to sea. Yeah, she says it's very, very cold. I believe you. So that's probably all the highlights we're going to show you. We're going to take a walk back here all the way back to the falls just so you can kind of get a feel of exactly how big this area is. I know we cut it up a little bit as we made our way over here. Banff is an amazing place to visit. We've got lots of videos. We were only in Banff a couple days filming, but we certainly made the most of it in 2022 when we were shooting all of this. So you'll find some other videos on the channel from Banff. We were also up in Jasper. We did the Icefields Parkway. We actually filmed the entire Icefields Parkway. I don't know what we're going to do with it because probably nobody wants to watch the 3-hour video, but it does exist. Maybe we'll cut some pieces out of it at some point and show you some mountains. Mountains are amazing, of course. If you don't have a book about them, you should. There's also some apps for your phone, so you can see how you can see all the mountain peaks here as we walk. If you put the app on your phone before you come, or even once you get here, you point your phone at the mountains and it will tell you the name of each mountain plus how tall it is, which is pretty neat because then you know exactly what you're looking at. You're not trying to guess who's who. And the distance from bottom to top is amazing. It's snow on the very top of them because they're so high up. Well, it's still frozen up there, and most of them stay frozen all year long. Slowly they melt, though. That's where the Bow River comes from, is the Bow Glacier as its water makes its way down. Getting back up onto the wall here, this is more the, I guess, developed part of it. Here you're looking onto the falls, not really just right down in the water. It's still pretty cool. You see the number of people, though? Yeah, quite a busy day. So that Marilyn Monroe film that was filmed here, I can put a train in this episode by talking about that. See, when they came here, she came from Calgary up to Banff. They actually came by special train. I've become a Marilyn Monroe fan if she was riding around on a train to get to Banff. That's pretty cool. Lots of trains do go through here. We're on the Canadian Pacific Main Line. You can't see it from here, but it's only a mile or two away, and the trains go all day long. Well, I think that about does it for our visit here today. We're off to go film some more episodes before we leave Banff, and we'll be sharing those with you throughout the next season. Farewell for now, from Bow Falls, just outside of Banff, Alberta. We'll see you on the next episode of Travels with Bill.